Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Ty Spiker Christensen. And it's turbo time. We've got Jordan Christensen on the podcast.
Nestled safely under a tree.
Okay, that is my favorite quote, but I just, I knew none of you would really put the oomph in the turbo time, so I had to be the one to do it. The soft, oh, dude, Ned. Oh my gosh. Cameron Mickles on the podcast today.
Dear Santa, can you send me a bike and a slinky? No, your father's been laid off.
And we've got Grant Nickel on the podcast.
Turbotastic. I know that's from Wreck-It Ralph, but I wanted to say that. A quote from this movie is, "You're my number one customer."
No. What you actually said was, "You get a doll eventually."
Hey,
Guys,
ponytail man.
I think this is one of the most quotable Christmas movies of all time.
I know. Holy
This
crap.
is like
really.
Nacho Libre 3 Amigos vibes.
Yes. Yeah.
I got just the tool for the job.
Okay. Oh gosh, guys,
man.
we need a podcast just for
You can
Ned.
never really do too much to spread some holiday cheer.
I had some extra lights hanging around my garage, and I thought, what the heck? Why not spread a little Christmas cheer?
What would I do
Oh,
without you?
thoughtful Ted, yeah. What do you do
Wrap some
without
chains
you?
around you.
What?
What?
That's weird. They're usually strange and kind animals, but it's something that he doesn't like about you, aftershave or something.
Aftershave or something.
Nice doggy. Just to bite him. It's so great, dude.
You
Dude,
Oh,
doesn't he
wrong
punch him?
day.
Yeah. And then he feeds him beer afterwards.
And it burps. Yeah.
No, Daddy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys! Today we were reviewing Jingle All the Way. This is a 1996 movie. This is like one of the most 90 movies ever
Masterpiece.
made.
For real.
Yeah. So, the plot recap says a father vows to get his son a Turbo Man action figure for Christmas. However, every store is sold out, and he must travel all over town to compete with everybody else in order to find one. This is like
Sounds like a burnt Turbo Man.
I feel like this is a capitalist hellscape movie. A lot of people are like, see, this is proof that capitalism doesn't work. But I'm like, this movie's great. All you have to do is buy your kids affection. See, guys, capitalism is wonderful. All you have to do is buy your kid the Turbo Man. He's like, and then, okay, there's so many great
Otherwise they'll end up like my dad never bought me a toy.
Yeah, here's to you, Dad. Taking a swig from freaking alcohol.
My neighbor got his toy and he turned out to be a billionaire.
Oh my gosh, guys, today we got to talk about this movie. What was it like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast? Jordan, let's start with you.
Oh, geez. I honestly can't remember the first time. I know we did watch it at the Gibbs because they had it on VHS. Gibbs are our cousins, and they had like way more movies than we did. And it wasn't till I got older when we got an allowance of an amount of money, and then I was able to buy this movie on DVD.
Right.
But
That's right.
yeah,
That's
I
funny.
love this. Growing up, this was amongst my collection, and I've just watched it so many times since. My wife doesn't like it, but I love it.
What's there not to like? This is a perfect movie.
I know. Well, it's funny. I listened to. I thought for sure the people that How Did This Get Made? I thought they would just eat this movie up, and they liked talking about it, but they didn't like it. And I was like, really? I thought everybody liked this movie growing up. I'm like, what's not to like? Like, I grew up loving Power Rangers, and this is like basically.
These two men are working for the Turbo Man.
This is basically like my childhood. It's like
So
collecting action
I've been
figures.
working on this case for 3 years, and you guys just bust in here.
Barge in here like terrorists at a tea party.
But yeah, I love this movie. So
Cameron, how about you? What was it like watching it for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast?
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I couldn't have been older than like 6 or 7 first time I watched this. I just remember like the opening scene like hooked me. I was like, oh, Power Rangers. And I was like, what the fudge? Like later on in the movie when they were just like getting tossed around.
Oh, Demon Team.
Yeah. And rewatching it, yeah, kind of similar. I've watched it probably like 3 or 4 times in the past year. I don't know why.
Really?
The
Like,
middle of
like
the summer.
inappropriate,
July. Oh, it's a good
inappropriate
movie.
times. Yeah, like the middle of summer. Yeah.
But yeah, like this is essentially like the comedy of Predator, but in a child's movie.
Yeah.
It's just like it's literally just the same. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, just like same character, just transferred over, except like instead of trying to kill the Predator, he's trying to get a toy. It's like the same level, or like Terminator. And that's why I just love it. Is like this movie is just it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger being Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, and just rewatching it, I'm like, oh my gosh, his performance, him and Sinbad, insane performances. Like both of them just totally blow it out of the water.
Great. How about you, Grant? What was it like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, like these guys, I grew up with this movie. I honestly think though it's been like 10 years or maybe not that long, but it's been a while since
Shame
I'd
on
seen
you.
this. and so I rewatched it today, and I can't believe how rewatchable this movie is. Like it was so much fun revisiting this one.
He got two. He got two.
The
Get the mailman.
There's just
Guys,
so
the
many
extras
good
in this movie
quotes.
are incredible.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
incredible extras.
Mhm.
So good. Well, for me, yeah, I can't remember a time I didn't know this movie. Like it just had all the things. Like even like ironically now I see how corny the Turbo Man thing is, I'll have my revenge, Demento or whatever it was. And or I think it was Dementor is what it was. Not Dementor. I
Brainiac
don't know
guy?
if
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember.
I think it's
either
Dementor,
Demento or
and it literally
Demento.
made me think
Oh.
like, did J.K. Rowling steal that from here? Anyway,
She was
Dementor's-
inspired by
She was
him.
inspired, loosely inspired, because I mean the Harry Potter thing's like a 2000 creation, right? Anyway,
Ta Turtle Man.
oh, man. Dude, I freaking love it. Dude, give me the towel. And he's like, shut up. And he's like flipping everybody off. He's got the script. Sinbad is incredible, dude. This is a pretty risque PG, if you ask me, dude. It's amazing.
It's
Anyway,
an old PG time.
it's an old
Yeah.
PG, exactly, dude. Golly, yeah, I can't think of a time when I didn't know the movie, but I remember being a kid and watching the Turbo Man. I'm like, I want that action figure. I literally thought that when I was a kid. I was like, I wanted the action figure, dude.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
And I never understood that dumb kid's obsession with it, and then was willing to give it up at the end to Sinbad. That drove me crazy. I was like, even if you have the real Turbo Man at home, you can't play with it.
It's gonna
mean,
be,
yeah,
it's gonna
your
look
dad's
so
never there
nice
for you.
locked up in confinement, like as evidence.
I know. But now rewatching this is like one of the most nostalgic Christmas movies for me, and it's so funny. It is so ridiculous, and it's just it's all the right things. It's such a great 90s movie.
No one
and
likes you, Buster.
Booster, dude. No
Booster,
one likes
that's
you,
right.
Booster.
They kick
All
him
the
on
kids start
ground, all the
punching
kids-
him.
No, everybody's like, "Woody, Booster, his sidekick, Booster." Is like, "We don't want it. We don't want it, Booster."
I love it when he's like smoking cigarettes in the back. He's just
And you recognize him, Cameron, the guy from Better Off Dead, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been going to the school for 7 years. I ain't no dummy.
Oh yes, Booster that plays. Yes, I know. Hey, this ain't the way we rehearsed it. You know what? Nobody likes you, Booster. Punches him in the face, uppercuts him, and then all these kids from the parade, they like join in. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna." And he start like bucking him while he's down on the ground.
Assaulting a man.
Such hatred for Booster. I love it.
It's
so
basically like in Power Rangers, he's the I guy. It's like nobody wants that toy.
Alpha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nobody bought Alpha.
Yeah.
We don't want it. We don't want it. Okay, guys, the extras. Okay, we're gonna talk about all these things. Okay, so so watching this is probably the most nostalgic movie of all time. Like even more than Home Alone, I would argue. Like for me, this one just hits home. Like it's so funny. And watching it, I just think back being a kid, watching the kids' joy, watching the Turbo Man show at the beginning, and then
Have you
the
shown
one
your
toy
kids
you
this
wanted for
movie yet,
Christmas.
Ty?
Yes, no, they were absolutely glued to the screen. Absolutely, I almost sounded like Arnold. They thought it was great. His action pack, he lights up in his voice. It's turbo time. I got it.
I love that he was considered every dad. Like
I know, right?
Oh
he's
yeah.
Just
Just
like
a
Brad
natural
Pitt.
Austrian bodybuilder.
the only mention of him that puts any context is literally Ted turning around. He's like, "Can't bench press your way out of this one, man." Like,
No,
it's
no,
the
no.
only
And
credits.
his wife, when she was like, Howard, and then she like looks him up and down, she's like, Howard.
Howard.
I know, it's like, that's
She's the
still your
second most
husband.
annoying person that's ever said Howard, behind Eunice.
Oh yeah.
Howard. Tell them who I am. I never saw her before in my life. We've got our two favorite things. I want to hear from each of you. Cameron, start us off. What are your two favorite things from this movie?
I won't say the obvious one that everyone's gonna say is quotable. So I
Oh
want
my
to
gosh.
like two other things. My favorite thing is similar to what I'm so impressed with some of these, like especially holiday movies that hold up, I think especially well over time, are ones that are like a multi-view in the same viewing. Like parents can watch Santa Claus the first one, and it's a totally different movie than it is for the kids. Like the kids are like just like blown away at the magic and everything, and then like dad was just dying at all the stepfather jokes. He's like, I was like, whoa, dad, you like those ones?
Yeah,
like
that's right.
making fun of like those, and I love that. Like similar in this movie, there's like so many jokes that like the adults just gobble up, and it's just like right over the kid's head. Like
Yeah.
because even as a kid, I didn't really understand that like Ted was kind of like sleazy, and like the girl's like, oh,
Slept with every person in the neighborhood.
yeah, she's like, you could come over and help, and it's really handy.
Fix
Or,
my
Yeah.
porch light.
I was just like, I don't really
I've got
understand.
just the tools for the job.
Yeah, but like the jokes like that I think make it really fun, because then also like I love how they kind of make him like a dweeb, and like just like Arnold is just so much like more masculine or whatever, like emasculate the guy for being like kind of a sleazebag and like trying to like swoon this guy's wife. And so that's, I think that like my favorite part about this is it's like watchable, and that's why it's rewatchable also, is like it's a totally different movie the older you are. Because I was so surprised at like the adult humor in Santa Claus, and same with this movie. I'm like, man, like there's so much. Like I love when he's talking, like my favorite line I thought was hilarious as a kid, but like can I have a dinner? No, your dad's been laid off. That as an adult is just so funny. I was like, oh my god, like, and his whole rant or whatever. He's like, guys are
It's
crazy,
unrivaled.
And then she's like,
Then they make fun of
Just wear
because
fur.
the kids, they're using advertisement to do subliminal homage to suck our kids' brains out. And I know what I'm talking about, man, because I went to a year of junior college and I studied psychology. So I'm in there, man. And it was,
I know
our
what's
kids
going on.
are being run by powerful toy cartels.
Yeah,
You know
Which
the line-
turns out to be true, by the way.
You know the line that
Foreshadowing.
actually got me now is because as a postal worker, when he's like, "You're probably one of the guys that puts his trash cans in front of the mailbox."
No, I recycle. Shut up, Mr. Ponytail Man.
But that is seriously so annoying. Like I seriously
That's so funny.
want to murder people that do that. It drives me nuts.
He's like, I work for the post office. You know I'm mentally unhinged. He's like, tell him. He's like, this man is insane. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, back up, man. This is a homemade
Um,
explosive device.
And then I
Sick
think my
world, sick people.
I
It was
think
a bomb. It really was a bomb. So good. Dude.
like
Oh,
the other thing I will say that's like my second favorite part is I'm just so impressed at how well like Arnold's, because I don't like naturally think of him as like, I'm almost laughing at him in movies, but I never like laughed with him. This is one of those first movies I was like, oh wow, like I can kind of do both with him. And him and Sinbad, like that combo, I was surprised at how much like it's like it was really fun to laugh with him too. Just like his interactions, and because also he's like so strong and masculine, like when he like grabs that kid's face, you're like, oh my God.
Give me the
If I
balls.
saw, if I saw a man like that grabbing my child,
pervert. All these women just all.
I'm not
joining
a
the story.
pervert.
I'm not a pervert.
yeah, but
I just wanted a Turbo Man doll. So great. All right, Grant. What about you? Two of your favorite things from this movie?
Oh man. I mean, my first one was like Cameron said, like, I mean, it's just so funny thinking back about all the quotes that I would quote when I was younger. Like, put that cookie down now. You know, like,
Who told
like,
you you
all
could
these,
eat my
like,
cookies?
like all these random quotes like that we would quote as a kid, but like it's just so much funnier. Like now that I'm older, there's so many different lines are so much funnier, and we've like covered a lot of them. But I'd say just quotes is like number one for sure. And then then I think just Ted is my like favorite character in this movie. He's so funny. Like,
okay, Ted is what I imagined for some reason. This is what I imagined Jordan and Ty, your dad like personality was. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they look like semi-similar,
funny.
and your dad's also kind of like a smooth talker. But I don't know why. Like I always just associate him like Ted is rich.
I always thought
funny.
more Mel Gibson than Kurt Russell, but
No,
No,
that's
100%.
super funny.
But I'm just saying, like this character, every single time I would see him, I'm like, it just would remind me of your dad. I don't know why. I didn't even know him that well, but
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
I love it. I love it. That's hilarious. So Grant, did you do 2? I heard your first. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
2.
quotes and Ted. Well, I guess
yeah.
and Myron. But yeah,
Man, yeah.
just so funny.
it sounds like he
I
says
got-
Byron at one point,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
Myron. Huh?
that sounds like it.
Oh, nothing like a little last minute shopping. What'd you get him? Took out of a Turbo Man. Oh, I got Johnny months ago. It's nestled safely under our
our
tree. I just
tree.
have to say, because they play that quote twice and
Yeah.
it repeats when he remembers it.
Echoes. It's so funny.
What am I doing? Stealing from a kid?
I
So
love when
great.
he's thinking out loud as he's holding it.
It's
The
like-
moral dilemma.
Jordan, what are your 2 favorite things from this movie?
Yeah, I mean, we've already said it. The quotes, we quoted this so much growing up. And then oh boy. I don't know if I can pin like a specific thing. It's just as a whole, I love like from beginning to end, everything about it. Like just the fact that they picked Arnold Schwarzenegger, like I mentioned, for the everyday dad, and just how he says everything is just very fun. Like I knew growing up for some reason,
Really?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of the funnest people to imitate. I don't know why.
Really is, dude.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be that accent. But
Dude, Christoph Waltz is Austrian, and I don't know how to imitate Christoph Waltz as well as Arnold. Like, it's just
Mhm.
worlds apart, you know? Anyway, I just think that's super funny. No, I
Yeah.
agree. So my 2 favorite things, I mentioned it earlier, the extras in this movie. Guys, I'm going to just throw out some characters in this movie. Well, Ted is an amazing foil to Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I'm going to explain this guy. Maybe you won't even remember it. When they have the stores and they're closed and he shows his watch, 2 minutes, he's like, 2 minutes, you're not going to let us come inside. And then after he finally meets Sinbad, the doors open, they trample this guy.
Yeah.
And then you have a close up of
Yeah.
his face. He has a shoe print.
Shoe
He's like, it's amazing reaction shot of it. I mean, it's tragic because people literally gets trampled to death during Black Fridays. Why? I don't get the society we live in. It's crazy. It's
Well,
like
it's-
one day a year. It's almost like the purge, but like for
But
deals
legal.
and shopping. Yeah, it's legal to trample people for a TV. It's insane. Like it's just nuts. But that's the
I
world
feel
we
like
live
it's not
in.
as bad now with like they usually do
Online
deals throughout the
shopping.
whole
You,
week.
you'd
and-
think
yeah.
so, Grant? No, and it's bad, but like there are still people camping out in tents and everything to
Yeah.
get that TV for $200. It's crazy. It's nuts. But anyway, so yeah, that guy. And my favorite character in this entire movie. So obviously Ted walks away, but if I had to choose an extra, that's technically not. It's the guy with okay. The guy with the little toy kid megaphone. He's like,
Oh yeah.
"Oh, there's a supply and demand. The list price for doesn't." And then the employees that are holding the bouncy balls are like, it's like so funny. Like, due to the loss of supply of demand, the list price just doubled. And everyone's like, oh, it's so funny that his whole scene is amazing. Like
Orderly fashion.
yeah. In an orderly fashion, we'll form a line. He's like, it literally almost rings off like, and he's holding like a toy microphone, kid. They go, so funny. But that whole scene, like, it just brings me so much joy. And then it leads to the bouncy ball. Like, they all start getting overwhelmed and they just throw them in the air. One of the funniest slow-mo scenes, too, are everyone jumping in the air and just getting showered with ball. Oh, it's so
And-
funny.
Dude, when the cop gets like burned, when his hand gets burned after like,
Okay,
it reminded
Another
me of
extra.
Squidward.
Yes.
Like when SpongeBob, he's
Oh!
like, when Patrick's like, firmly grasp it.
And when he gets the coffee on his hands, he's like, oh, like scribbles his hands, dude. So yes, the cop is an amazing extra. So many great callbacks where he's the one that pulls him over. He backs into his car. He's there
bomb
with
threat.
chasing him, with the bomb threat, and then he finally sees him there chasing him at the parade.
I love how a bomb
and then
goes
sees
off
him at
and it's
the
just like
end. salutes him.
smoking
Yeah.
steak, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Like
It's such
Looney
a cartoon,
Tunes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the bomb blows up, Arnold Schwarzenegger's reaction to the bomb blowing up behind him, so amazing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
you
But
could so
oh my
easily
gosh,
make this movie R.
I'm sorry about your bike, about the coffee, the bomb.
I was like the bomb.
Guys, the whole Santa Claus, that whole side
Drug
quest,
cartel going on
the toy
underground.
cartel, the cheap Santa Claus toy
Graham,
cartel,
it's the
played
Grinch.
by
It's fun
is it
and
Jimmy Belushi?
educational.
Okay, who is Jim Belushi, or is it the other one? It's one of the Belushis. It's not Jim Belushi. It's his brother. He plays the other Santa.
It's Jim Belushi.
Jim Belushi. Yeah, sorry. So, but Jim Belushi plays the Santa Claus at the mall, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, you know." The
for a
cop walks by.
Turbo
Oh, Merry Christmas, officer. What the dollar or not? You know, like Santa doesn't exchange toys in broad daylight.
I'm
It's
not
like
sitting on your
so funny. Like again, like it's such a funny premise where they're like making these cheap knockoff toys, and he goes, "Hey, show him the photo," and he brings up a photo. Like it's like a ransom. He's holding a Turbo Man doll in today's newspaper. One of the funniest, like underwritten comedy bits of this entire movie. The entire this dwarf guy, hilarious. Like, I ain't going back to the joint. You hear? Like he's a total hardened criminal, dude. It's amazing, dude.
Dude, I remember when I was a kid, we loved when the big Santa comes in and then he punches the Santa and just goes flying down.
No, let's not
So
forget when he
clearly
jumps on Arnold's
Little
head.
buddy.
When he jumps on Arnold's head and he's like, it's like, nah, it's pulling his hair. Oh, little buddy. It's amazing. I'm gonna deck your halls, bub. They found a man bigger than Arnold, or that's just movie magic because I don't think
Yeah.
anyone's as big as Arnold. But they actually made it look like he met his match. Hilarious.
That's really funny.
So yes, the extras. I could go on and on, but there's so many people. Even
They
okay,
might have done some
remind me,
Tom
is
Cruise
it?
magic?
Oh,
it's
camera work,
it's
yeah.
Martin Mull. Martin Mull plays the DJ, and he played Funny and Straight, because isn't he one of the creators of It's Kind of a Funny Story? No, what's the movie? A Futile and Useless Gesture. Is that the one? He made National Lampoon's. I think he's like one of the creators of National Lampoon's magazine. I should double check.
Oh
that. I
no,
really-
He's also in Mr.
he-
Mom.
He plays as that person. He's not
the
the,
older
actual
Will.
guy.
Yeah. But I know. Sorry, he's not the one that. I'm saying yes. He played the character that did the.
National
Because
Lampoon.
Will Forte plays the younger version of him, but yeah, Martin Mull's still playing the character, the older
Yeah.
version of the guy. Anyway, National
When he
Lampoon.
smashes the glass and he's like, "Help me!"
Okay, that's the line, dude. Yeah, he's like,
Comedy gold.
yeah. Hi, I got a madman in my studio, and then he kicks in the glass. So good, dude. Just shatters the glass, dude.
Oh,
And then
man.
his whole interaction with them, he's like, "Das und das, I'm gonna down a blitzen, Kuhn, down a blitzen." I got it. Like, he's like, "Oh, what I have is a gift certificate."
You'll get one eventually.
Eventually. I quote this all the time. I literally do. Like that cadence. Hey, Mr. Ponytail Man, I know you're kind. Jordan's right. Yeah. You put your recycling bin or whatever.
You trash
You
bin.
put your trash bin in front of the mailbox. Yeah. So good. And then okay. So I said the extras, and then yeah, we've all mentioned it. The funniest Christmas gag ever. Like it literally is the moment where he breaks into the house, and then he's like, "Stealing from a kid? You're going back." And then he like literally looks out. The reindeer sees him, starts flaring at its nostrils, charges up its hoofs, and then chases after him in the house. And so he's running around. He finally locks the reindeer in one of the rooms. Then he goes back in. There's like a smoke and fire. So he like takes the stockings, tries to put out the fire, or because he knocked over Balthazar, one of the wise men, his head rolls into the fireplace. It's catching fire. He's trying to put it out. And he doesn't know what to do. Outside, there's Christmas carolers. Ned is moving in on his wife, putting his arm around his wife across the street. Hilarious, by the way. Like,
I love every scene that he sees him with. He sees his wife with him, and it's always like obviously like that perfect moment.
yes,
and then
it's
right afterwards,
worse,
she's like,
yes.
"Whoa, what are you doing?" Like,
right.
Uh-huh.
To her credit, yeah. The feelings.
Like
And-
when he,
and
when
then
he
he
calls home and he's like,
can't-
your wife's cookies.
I love when he calls his son
That
too, and he's
whole
like, "Can I
thing,
talk
yes.
to your mother?" And she's like, "You can't. She's next door, Ted."
He's like, what?
The reindeer's name is Ted. Yes, exactly.
Oh,
it's too perfect.
Golly. And then literally it just culminates that the carolers are outside and bringing some figgy pudding, and he can't douse this fire. So he just
Kicks the head.
kicks Balthasar's head out the window.
Oh,
And it's just
Balthasar.
flaming head comes flying out of the carolers. They all go screaming and scatter. It's so great. Ned runs over, douses the fire, and Ted's delivery of this line, one word, it literally gets me to cry laughing every time. He's just like looks up after dousing the fire. Balthazar. So good. Guys, rest in peace, Phil Hartman. One of the funniest underrated comedians of our time. Seriously, I love him to death. So
yeah, he was
golly,
amazing in
so
I
good.
Married an Axe Murderer. So I married an axe murderer.
Oh, Phil Hartman is great in everything. He was one of the
Yeah.
funniest guys in SNL, all that stuff. And he wrote a lot of this material. He was just such a funny regular guy, like everyday man. But my gosh, this character Ted is just incredible. Come on.
No.
You've earned yourself some eggnog. Like he's just his whole thing.
He's in the
A
shower.
lot of
You want me to
women
go
want
get
to
her?
be in the
No.
situation you're in right now.
I mean, no.
I love the scene when Arnold Schwarzenegger is Turbo Man. He's flying around, and then it just randomly cuts to this family. They're like, "Let us pray." It just like obliterates the whole dinner table. It's so funny.
He's flying around the city, dude. It's ridiculous, dude. It's amazing.
It's such a great practical
here, kid.
effects scene. Oh,
Give me the
man.
towel. Dude, that's amazing.
Haven't
Golly.
you seen Vertigo? It's like,
Does that mean anything to you?
Sinbad is great, dude. I love Sinbad in this movie. Oh my gosh.
I
guys,
love he
this-
does so many old references. I'm like, I don't even know half of these. I feel like Robin
Yeah.
Williams and Ryan Reynolds all do lots of reference humor that I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't understand. And Seth MacFarlane, he also does a lot of references to old things that I'm like, I don't know half the stuff you're referring to.
Right.
Awesome.
No, it is funny, but oh my gosh. So I want to any other quote. We got to just throw out all the quotes, right? Like we
If we haven't
mentioned
done them already.
Yeah,
Oh
but
no, I've got a couple more.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got plenty more, but I loved Cameron mentioned his whole rant with, with the wife is everyone at the post office, but me. He goes, and then the kid gets the toy and he breaks it because it's little cheap plastic and he can't put it back together. Amazing rant. Like that entire rant is just so good. And it starts so casual. He's like, hey, lay off the man. He's trying to get a toy for his kid, Amazing. He starts out the hero and then like literally at the end, he starts strangling some woman. He's like, sorry, you shouldn't have worn fur. So funny.
Or even Booster, where he's like, where the have you been? Jeez, I was sweating like a dog in a Chinese restaurant with you. Sorry. So,
That's it.
I'm gonna change restaurant. So bad, dude. Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Okay, another
He's just
Smoking.
one of my favorite that Ted does when they bring up the reindeer. He goes, I've been watching some reindeer by Lake Minnetonka. He's like, maybe nature will be kind and they'll accept him as one of their own. He's like, how touching. Oh, it's so funny. Like, of course he's the perfect. Oh, one of the most underrated lines too is the chubby kid, Ned's son. He's like, hey, my dad didn't used to be this cool. But after my mom left him, he became super cool. Maybe your parents should get divorced.
He was like, hey, maybe your parents should get a divorce. Did wonders for my dad.
Did wonders for my dad. That's the line. Did wonders for my dad.
So
Oh my
funny.
gosh.
Yeah, another
So
one
good.
that I quoted a lot as a kid was he's trying to get the ball, or no, he's trying to he's doing a chase. Yeah,
This is
yeah. He's
war.
doing the chase with he's like, this is war, and then he like drives the car, and he's like, oh, poor baby. We quoted that all the time.
I love it, dude. And freaking when he's like,
that was,
everyone,
it was really a bomb. It's a sick world we live in.
hey everybody, these two are looking for a Turbo Man. Ah! Everyone's just dying in the store around him. I love that. And then the
That
whole
first guy's
montage.
laugh though is so funny. He's just like wheezing, laughing. Oh man.
And he's like grabbing his coworker. He's like,
Yeah.
this guy's
Oh,
looking for
these
a turbo doll.
This guy's looking for a turbo, man.
It's so good.
Where's
It's
your Christmas spirit?
That's better.
That's better.
I love it. He
I'll know
got-
if you move because I have the ears of a snake.
yeah, he gets poor Arnold, dude. He gets pepper sprayed, his hand bitten, like has to fight Santa Claus.
Abused by a bunch of women with purses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So good, dude. Okay, the drug cartel. I mean, it's so stupid, but it's like password, jingle bells. Batman smells. Slowly closes the aisle. Amazing. He's like, I know what you're thinking. No, you have no idea what I'm thinking right now. He's like looking around. There's all these toys being made and like sold. The cops break it. The Grinch scatter. It's so great. And then, okay, Jim Belushi's whole monologue is amazing too. He's like, for all the boys and girls who woke up on Christmas morning and let Santa cookies and milk. For all the boys who opened Christmas presents and rather than found presents, found clothes instead of toys. We're not doing this for us. We're doing it for the kids. He's like, so $300 for Turbo Man? He's like, I don't see why we can't make a little change while we're at it. It's amazing. So good. Soy el hombre de turbo. That's the Spanish for fun and educational. Another
that
quote
quote.
I use all the time.
I also love when he's like, everyone put your guns down. You too, Barnaby Jones.
You too,
Barnaby
oh my gosh, it's great.
I still just love the he got two. He got two. I think
Get the mailman.
4 adults. Get the mailman.
It's so funny seeing like adults like fight like children over something. Like
Oh
this
my
happens
gosh.
so much in the movie. It's so funny.
There's a great scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger starts fighting like the Ninja Santa. The he takes a
Yeah, with
candy
the
cane and he whacks
nunchucks.
4 of them across the face. Yeah, he's got the candy cane nunchucks, but he ends up whacking 4 of them across the face, and he's like, it's like way too much enjoying it. It's great, Arnold. I love it. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
So funny. I'm just reading some of my notes. It just says your parents should get divorced. It did wonders for my dad. We already quoted it, but that's like the saddest line like ever.
I
Anyway, it's
know,
the
it's
Chevy.
so funny.
Dad, well, you smell like barf. What's going on?
Let's get outta here.
Johnny's dad is Jamie's dad is Turbo Man. Let's get out of here. Oh, good, dude. You know what Turbo Man always says? He always keep your promises so you can keep your friends. I've had it up to here with Turbo Man. The last thing I want to hear is advice from a stupid Turbo Man.
It's crazy that this that what's his name? This was his performance before becoming Anakin.
Oh, little Annie, that's right.
I know.
yeah.
Before Star Wars ruined his life forever.
Yeah.
Star Wars didn't ruin his life. He thought he was going to make it in the big leagues. Everyone bullied that kid. That poor kid, Jake Lloyd. We love you, man. I'm sorry that you get bullied for being in Star Wars. That's so sad. But anyway, okay. The other funny line too, Sinbad's rants are so good. Some of the lines he goes, this is a homemade explosive device. He's like, a bomb? He goes, yeah, don't you watch TV? These things come through the mail every day. Jordan, as the ambassador for Postman, do you get hundreds of bombs every day in the mail?
Times have changed, I think.
Times have changed. Don't you watch TV? I love Sinbad, dude. He's so great.
But they used to. I did hear about people blowing up by bombs in the past. You ever watched the Unabomber?
Oh, geez, yeah. That took a dark tone.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
quoting.
Yeah, here
It's
we
a
are.
sick world we live in.
Sick
people.
Hey, I mentioned extras. I had to mention the 2 anchor people at the end with the giant fuzzy microphones or whatever, the headset. They're like, let's watch and listen. And then they like take their papers and shuffle them together. It's
at
the
the same
weirdest
time.
thing. What is that? They're like, they're NPCs, dude. They're not even real people, dude. They're just
Yeah,
so
that's
funny.
funny.
Anyway, it's great.
Enjoy their job way too much.
Don't worry, Ted's here. That has to be a meme, dude. Don't worry, Ted's here. It's so great. I love it too. He's like, I don't know who he's talking to at this moment, but he's like, how to marinate ahi tuna. All you need is a little Italian dressing or
Oh,
something.
he's like the first time we met
Yeah.
that Memorial Day
Oh,
barbecue.
yes. I know when you started feeling.
Our
For
feelings
me, it was when
started
you
then.
asked me how to. Yes. Okay. And then the last extra. See, my last notes. I'm so glad we got to this. The entire scene where he gets mistaken for the new Turbo Man. There's a guy that gives him the
Yeah.
rundown. I'm going to call him the Jason Schwartzman character. I don't know who he is. He's got the glasses and the long hair. And he's like, oh, are you the guy? Oh, good. Everybody, he's here. Okay. So what happened to Pete was a total freak accident. The doctors say that they're seeing some brainwave
Brain
activity,
activity.
and that's
So
a
that's
really
good
good
news.
sign. It's amazing. It's just like, that's a really good sign. Amazing. Like that guy was amazing. Like just
Oh, and I'm Turbo Man. Who else you think you are? Mary Poppins?
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. It's so great, dude. And then the last thing I will say was the scene. Okay, so it's earned. This whole movie culminates into the moment where Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Turbo Man, comes out of the little float in front of him. He picks it up, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger pulls it into himself. And he's like, oh, he like touches it and he holds it. It is
And
the funniest thing.
well,
and,
and
it's
his
so
scream-
earned. It is
Yeah.
so earned.
And his
because this
scream,
entire-
yes, like he finally
Yeah.
did it.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Jamie.
Well,
Yes.
and what I thought funny
Jamie.
this what I thought
He
funny this
knows
time
my
is
name.
he's like trying to figure out who to give it to. I'm like, it just like doesn't come to him right away. He's like,
I
or
know,
maybe he's
right?
looking for his kid. I don't know.
I'm gonna assume he's
Yeah.
looking for his boy.
Oh, okay.
You, me, Jamie.
He knows my name.
I love it too. And the cop that stops the mother, she's like, oh, my son is up there. Oh, he's great. He's part of the show. He's like, it's not part of the show. It's my son. And he's like, he just doesn't do anything. And she pushes past him. Like, amazing. Everyone in this movie, all the extras were just phenomenal. I want to see more movie extras like this. Like, and even good cameos, like Jim Belushi as Santa
Yeah,
Claus.
not even the
You can
Coen
see his
brothers
face.
have written side characters as well.
I know, right? They all feel like Cohen. Yes, they feel like Cohen brother characters, right? They're just so,
Yeah, like the fact that he's like the backup sidekick, like mascot, and he's just like a total, just like a smoker is like the randomest niche like personality trait ever. He's just,
it's
I just
amazing.
felt like a Chinese dog over
No, it's sounding like a dog in a Chinese restaurant,
yeah.
implying that Chinese serve up dogs in their food. So bad, dude. Amazing.
A definite
Oh.
recommendation. As you can tell, we pretty much just quoted the entire movie. So if you
For
thought
the
Folks.
whole family.
Go,
Yeah.
guys, go see this. I mean, guys, this. Okay, so
We basically
the
quoted
director
as
of
much
this
as
movie,
Good Burger.
the director of this movie did movies like Flintstones, Beethoven. Like he did all these family. Like he did the
Beethoven
Snow
was
Dogs
fun.
movie that ruined Cuba Gooding Jr.'s.
he also did Are We There Yet?
Oh, that's when his
No.
career started
His
taking nosedive.
IMDb ratings are like
But they're great. They're like the adult kid movies, but this is by far his best, hands down. But Brian Levant is the director.
Dude,
And
listen to his, what's it called? He's made a 4.2 on IMDb, 3.9, 3.5, 4.8, 5.3, 6.3.
hey, we don't
3.3.
judge. Somehow Jingle All the Way has a 5.7. I don't know how. People are crazy, and it has like
Yeah,
it has a
wow.
rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie is a treasure. I love this movie. You guys all need to see this movie. It's so good. And you know what? Even like film scholars could study it and be like, "Oh, the horrors of capitalism." This movie is great. It shows all the pitfalls of it. He literally has to buy his son's affection, otherwise he can't, have a meaningful connection with his son. It's a very, it's pretty bleak, but it's so good and it's so funny because in the end, the kid learns he doesn't need the Turbo Man, so it has the perfect.
I love that Anakin almost
line
breaks
at the end.
character when Arnold is like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
you can tell
Yeah.
he's like really holding in that laugh. He's like, because just some giant dude doing like karate is so funny.
One nitpick I have about this movie, and it's a weird one. So at the very beginning, there's a scene where he's like, "Oh, I hope he comes to my karate lesson or whatever. I'm gonna get my new belt because he doesn't come ever or whatever." He goes, "I'm sure your dad is just working." And then it immediately cuts to a Christmas party, and a cork pops and everyone's doing the Congo line. Everyone's having a great
And then
time.
it shows him working. Yeah.
But then it shows him working. Okay, now thank you, Grant. I think the implication was
That was
supposed to
kinda
be a
weird.
joke. Yeah, it plays it like, oh, he's not working.
Yeah.
Because he's at a Christmas party. That would be the implication. But then no, it cuts to him. He is the only one at the entire office building that is in his office alone working. And don't forget, you're my number one customer. Amazing.
Wait, I didn't mean that.
Oh, if you don't like the sheets, we'll just change it for you. Don't forget, you're my number one customer. And then, yeah, he talks to his wife, Liz, I will be there. I promise. And don't forget, you're my number one customer. Liz. Liz. I'm going to make it. He's not going to make it. I'm going to make it. Can you recite the alphabet for me? A, B, C, backwards. So great. Guys, I love this movie. I got it. I got the Turbo Man. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Anyway, we highly recommend this movie. Watch it. It's a perfect Christmas watch, and it's funny enough throughout the year. Just a kid's birthday gift. You got to buy it. Everyone's been in that situation where you forgot to buy the gift. You put it off for too long. You procrastinate to buy gifts. That's the problem I fall into, which is why I got married. My wife takes care of that stuff for me. So very grateful to you, hon.
That's why I got married.
That's why I got married. So I don't have to buy gifts anymore. It's my least favorite thing. Just like, I don't know what to get. Just whatever it costs, I'll pay it. I just don't want to think of it. And then anyway. So, all right, let's get into movies that we've seen lately and movies we're looking forward to seeing. Cameron, start us off. You always had the biggest list.
I watched The Pianist. It was
Pianist.
extremely tragic and depressing.
Don't spoil.
Really well made, but oh my gosh, man, I can never watch it ever again. It's like it's
Punishing.
a way harder watch than Schindler's List or A Life is Beautiful. Like both of them are pretty like semi rewatchable. This one is just like the most depressing thing I've ever seen. I mean, excellently made, but I gave it 8 out of 10, but you can't not do it again.
I liked all the acting that Adrian Brody's nose was doing, though. It's really good.
Well, it's funny because the moment I saw his nose, I was like, oh, he's definitely Jewish. And then I watched Dirty Dancing because it's on my list, and
Isn't it such a great movie?
I stopped watching it. I was like 15 minutes in. I'm like, this movie sucks, like 2.5 weeks ago. And then I gave it another shot. I was like, okay, I have to do it for the list by the end of the year. And then I was actually really pleasantly surprised at how fun it was. It was like a 6 out of 10 for me. Nothing super special. I thought the dancing was really fun. I did mention though that there was like one too many for me. I'm like, I felt like I was watching like 1980s like Magic Mike for a couple scenes. It was just Patrick Swayze just. I was like, what the fudge is going on? Like, it's just like these, it's like this, what do you call it? Like this club where they're like, I'm like, you guys can just do this like alone. And then I showed Jake, Shane Gillis's Beautiful Dogs special on Netflix. Super funny. And then also we watched Titanic together, at least the start of it. And then we also watched an episode of an anime that he showed me. It's called like Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's pretty good. It's extremely depressing, but good.
I like the music.
And then we also watched Hot Rod, me and all the cousins. That movie is similar to this, just
Hot Rod?
so quotable. It was so funny, and especially
I tried to show Lisa's family and they did not like it. I was like, how do you guys not like it?
And it was funny because we watched it like the Christmas party, and so like most of the people were like drunk or high, and it was just even that much funnier. Just all these like high people just like just dying laughing. It was so funny.
That's hilarious.
And then I also
I will say Hot Rod is it can be a gamble. Just if
Acquired
you don't
taste.
yeah, for sure. I'm with you,
It's
Grant.
your front yard too.
Hey, little girl, I don't want cherry. It upsets my stomach. Don't even ask. Just bring it. It's so great, dude. Pools are great. Cool beans.
Whiskey.
The safety word didn't work. It didn't help.
Why are you saying that way?
Why am I saying what way?
I will. Where do you
Pools are great for holding water.
Yeah, Hot Rod 9 out of 10. Shane's Beautiful Dogs is 8 out of 10 for me. And then I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I was fighting demons to stay awake. But
Oh yeah, it's a slow
extremely,
movie.
extremely slow. But I mean,
I think it's like a 14-minute, like, what's that song they play?
okay,
Dun,
well,
dun,
in the
dun,
opening,
dun.
yeah, in the opening, it's 3 minutes of silence of just.
Dun, dun, dun.
And didn't you feel like you were being hypnotized when you saw that big square? You're like, what am I
Yes.
looking
I
at?
know. I'm like, is this a cult movie? Like, I felt like Clockwork Orange. I was just like, someone strapping me in. Like, ah. But I mean, and the ending, the moment it ended, I just immediately went 2001: Space Odyssey explainer video YouTube because I was like, what the fudge did I just watch?
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's visual, like borderline perfection, and like it blows my mind that it was made in the year that it was. I'm like
Yeah.
1968, and this movie looks better than like movies that were made in the 2000s.
Today.
I'm like,
Yes.
this is like
Yeah.
illegal. So I mean, I totally understand. Like, it's one of those movies that if someone has it in their top 10, I like totally understand. For me, it's just not super up my alley. I don't love sci-fi, but I mean, it was still super impressive. Gave it 8 out of 10. And then finally finished Titanic. Man, that runtime. I wrote it in my letterbox review. I said, is James Cameron contractually like required to have a runtime over 2 hours and like 45 minutes? Because
Cameron's like, yeah,
is
how
he
long
aware
does
that
it
a
take
movie
to
can
sink
be
the ship already?
I'm like-
Jace, would you go down already?
What's so funny is like everyone was telling me that the second half was way better than the first half, and I like the first half way better than the second half. I mean, the second half was extremely tragic, but like
Yeah.
the way some people died almost like took me out of the film. Like that dude that hit the propeller and like triple backflipped into the water. I was
Jumps
trying
off.
so hard not to laugh. Yeah, he's like, oh. I was like, oh my god, I know this is supposed to be sad, but these are like way too funny of deaths. Like,
too funny.
That's hilarious.
and I was also just on my Kate hate train, bro. I was like, this chick literally just ruined everything, and she's like, I don't know, but
No, it's amazing. Like, it is the funny. It was what was it? It was like and let him freeze to death, and it's like the most romantic love story of all time. It's like I met some guy, had a and let him freeze to death. Like, it's like
so that I
that's
could
like
live.
their entire romance. You're
know,
like,
right?
yeah, that's
But
not very
her
pleasant.
fiance, dude, her fiance is such an amazing villain.
Billy's
I love
Billy's
her.
what is
He
it?
can
Billy
literally,
Zane?
like escape, and he's like, "Nah, I'm going back." I'm like, bro, what? Homie would rather risk dying than like
That's right.
of her maybe living a happy
No,
life.
the best
with him.
Cameron, the best line is when
Kidnaps
he
a
goes,
child.
I have a child.
child.
Yes. Oh my
Holds
gosh.
up
He's
some
like, "I have a
kid."
child," and then he's like, "Yeah, shh." I thought he was about to throw that child off, bro. I was like, he does not treat that like a human being, bro. It's just literally like it's his ticket to
That's funny.
ride. I was
Yeah.
like, he's insane.
That's right.
So yeah, Titanic for me was 6 out of 10. I think just a little overhyped. I don't know.
You
Like
thought it'd
I
be
could
this massive, awesome movie, and
like
it just
see,
was a disaster.
I think the set and everything like mind blowing that like everything that went into the making of the film, but just not really my. I also just don't love historical pieces.
And the
then
movie was a bit of a shipwreck, if you know.
and then
Thank
I watched.
you.
I
I will be
watched.
here all week.
I watched Apocalypse Now because I've just been cranking through the list.
Do you like Ad Astra better or Apocalypse Now? Because they're one's a remake of the other.
I think
And I know you're not, huh?
I think Apocalypse Now, and it's funny because I
Okay.
don't love sci-fi and I don't love war movies, but I mean,
You don't like either Ad Astra or Apocalypse Now.
exactly. So like the thing for me is, so I gave Apocalypse Now a 7 out of 10. I think it's similar to 2001: Space Odyssey. I don't understand how this movie was made. Like movie was made in 1979, and it's got like cinematography that's better than movies that are made like 2020. I'm like, this is the most insane thing I've ever seen. It's also crazy, like all the making that went into this, and like how Martin Sheen almost died and stuff like that. But for me, it's almost like I felt like I was losing my mind watching the movie, which I
Totally.
know was like a part of it, but almost, and I was also fighting demons to stay awake. But it was like weird because like I would occasionally like head nod, and then there would be like something also that's changed, and it's like he's going through fog. And I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm actually in this war zone. Like, what the fuck?
Oh
is going
yeah.
But I mean, like excellently well made. I also can't believe that it's the same director that made The Godfather, and it makes sense why he used The Godfather as the freaky villain, bro. I was like, what the fudge?
You know, Nicolas Cage is Francis Coppola's nephew.
No way.
Yeah, he changed his name because somebody on set was teasing him like, I love the smell of Cage in the morning, and or Nicholas in the morning, and he was like, my name's gone.
Yeah, he changed his
Because
name.
That's
he
crazy.
changed his last name from Coppola.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then I've also been watching Avatar.
And can we just say, I think Nick Cage has made it enough of a name of himself without the nepotism. Like,
Yeah.
he's a meme now.
And then we just finished season 2 with my roommate because he hasn't seen Avatar, and it's just getting into the perfect part of the
The
show.
blue
It's
people?
so amazing. No,
Well, he does have partially blue. He's partially.
I just mentioned how I don't like James Cameron.
I was
But
only
the
half thinking
Avatar
that.
masterpiece.
Cameron's like the
Mwah.
masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
I refuse to watch the new
Titanic
Avatar.
can't live up to the Avatar.
You didn't watch
status.
Yeah,
The Way of Water?
The second one?
Give me a
I
90,
didn't watch.
give me a
It's
90-minute
entertaining,
cut, and
but-
I'll watch it.
It's entertaining.
I'm with you,
but I will
Cameron. I
never watch
started
again.
it and I was like, no charm, no whimsy. I watched
Just
10 minutes of it and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this.
The perfect
Nothing.
explanation of how I feel about James Cameron was the first time I ever watched Avatar was with Ty, and I fell asleep. I felt like I slept for like 6 hours, and I woke up, and Ty's like, "Oh yeah, they're just like starting to invade." I'm like, "How long is this movie?" I was like, I thought they were about to invade.
I remember
like,
we watched
right
that.
before I
We
went
watched
to
that
sleep.
together. That was probably my second time ever watching the movie, and I haven't watched since. I own the Blu-ray, by the way, and
I did
I'm
too.
part of the problem. I'm part of the problem. I'm
That's
sorry,
so
folks.
funny.
I want to
Um,
get less movies like this, but of course I bought
But
it.
then
So
there was just a couple movies that were recommended to me. But I want to finish Cyberpunk Edge Runners because it's like a mini series. It's like 8 20-minute episodes. And then also one of my buddies recommended It's Such a Beautiful Day. It's like a animated movie. It's like 1 hour and 2 minutes of just like animated. It's like apparently like super beautiful. And then also The Way Back, The Holiday, and then The Awkward Moment. Or just a couple ones that some of my friends recommended to me, so I might check those out. In between me just going through all these freaking boring freaking films. Oh my gosh, bro! I got like Amadeus up and movies like that. I'm about to gag myself.
yeah, good luck. You're kind of at the you know what you might benefit you is like just getting some historical context because maybe that would help. Because I've done that before where I'm like, why is this movie even at all remarkable? And I'm like, oh, okay, like understanding some of the story and the world that was
Yeah, I
going
don't
on
care
around
about
at
the
the time.
historical though.
I'm just saying sometimes it helps. Like it helps because like I
Yeah.
remember watching the original Day the Earth Stood Still, and it was like back then people were terrified of like mind control. Like it was like a big rumor that like the Russians were going to invade and like mind control. So like the Day the Earth Stood
Have you
Still,
seen
like,
Beautiful Mind, Ty? It's real.
it did happen actually. So but yeah, so like even just knowing that fact
true.
alone, I was like, okay, so people were scared of that. Like it's almost like when the movie in 2012 comes out, you're like, it's a little funny now, like a movie called 2012 that none of that happened, but thank you for. But again, it came out 2 years before, and we're like, is this the bleak future we're in for? Or did the Mayans predict this? And then it didn't happen.
sure.
And then you're like, yeah, the Mayans were dumb.
Yeah,
Grant-
because I got Cinema Paradiso, Into the Wild, Seven Samurai, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Three Idiots, Amadeus, and Pan's Labyrinth left. All of
Pan's
them are-
Labyrinth is so good.
like the shortest runtime of them all is like 2:30. I'm like, what the fuck?
Cameron's going through his list, like knocking off all the 90-minute under 2-hour movies, and then it's like, oh no.
Yeah,
all
and then
is
I got
left.
like 3.5 hour like Seven Samurai. I'm like, I'm excited for it, but 3.5 hours is borderline illegal.
Yeah, speaking of illegal, Ty, I just have to mention really quick.
Oh.
Because I went through both Cameron's and your top
It is
100,
illegal.
and then I watched.
Speaking of illegal,
I watched Pride and Prejudice. That's not a movie. That's a mini series. Take it off your top
It's-
100.
oh, well,
There's
I
movie
don't know
and
if I could.
miniseries.
Could I? Yeah, I think I could add it on my. If I'm not mistaken, you can add it on Letterboxd or not.
Yeah, but Letterboxd has TV shows, so you can't. No.
It
It's-
does?
Letterboxd doesn't have TV shows.
They do. They have Squid Games. It has a bunch. And not all TV shows. It just has some.
What is the special privilege that some of these TV shows are getting? I want
I
to
know.
understand.
I
Yeah.
don't either. It's a lot of animes get on here. for some
It's big
reason.
Hollywood. Big Hollywood. It's a conspiracy. We
No,
should
but I'm
figure out
saying
why.
you got to take Pride and Prejudice off your list. That is a mini series. Add it to your
Okay,
top.
but quick question: did
TV
you
shows.
enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it, but I'm just saying it is not. It's not a movie. It's not a movie.
It's not a snail. My face is frozen like this.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, what's that from?
I mean,
That's
Jordan,
from
you gotta
C
realize
Spot
who
Run.
you gotta realize who you're talking to, Jordan. This is the same dude that has Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 as one movie in his top 10.
Gosh,
So
yeah, good point.
Well,
you're
slow
barking
down.
up the
There-
wrong tree.
No,
He
slow
said it's
down.
one
I will
film. I know what he said.
No, I don't even have whatever. It's called the Bloody Affair.
Bloody
the whole-
Affair.
yeah,
We know.
it's literally a
I'm
movie.
aware.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Anyway,
We don't need
'cause
to
the
start
movie
this
runs
discussion
together.
again.
I know. I have to bring it up every time because you're like, oh,
Grant,
he did this. Like,
Tell
I
us your
cheated.
list really quick before Ty goes on a rant.
Tarantino's going to direct 10 films. He's already
All
done
right.
it. If you guys didn't know that. Okay. Sorry. Just thought I'd say that.
So I watched Glass Onion. I thought it was pretty good.
First time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I'd never seen it when it was like.
And that's
it
about
first
all
came
that
out
Grant
or
can say
whatever.
about it. Said he watched it.
I mean, yeah, it was good. Like I like the twist. It was a good twist.
What was the twist, Grant? The twist in the first 2 minutes of the movie or the twist at the
Best
end?
performance ever?
Well, because I'm the type of viewer that I really don't read into anything, so I'm always surprised by anything that happens. And so, because Cameron's always like, "Oh, I saw that coming." He's like, "I guess that like 30 minutes ago." I was like, "I had no idea." So, I thought it was enjoyable, but I'll never watch it again probably. And then I watched the first.
people. What?
I saw the first really old Pink Panther. It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's bad.
so
it's like one
cringy,
joke,
so
and he gets his
bad.
hand
Slow
like caught
down.
in the
Well,
globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
like
he falls.
he's not even
That's
like the main
best.
character in it. He's literally a side character to the wife and her affair with this dude. Like, it's really bad.
Guys, let me explain something to you. There was a time in the 60s and the 70s where a comedy movie had 2 jokes, and the entire runtime of the movie
Yeah.
was to pay off these 2
Wow.
jokes. You're like, hey, did you see the movie with that joke? Yeah. You should go see it.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's
you should watch
crazy.
it. It's really funny.
Yeah,
No,
because
that-
the Pink Panthers after that, though, I think are really great.
Yeah, they get better for sure. Yeah.
well,
Because
was the first one even directed by Blake?
as well,
Yeah.
and he's really funny. They just like the first one was not funny.
Yeah.
I can't remember if Blake Edwards even did the first. I'm gonna have to double check this.
What else, Grant?
Keep
But
going.
yeah, and then I watched Fiddler on the Roof because it had been a really long time. That was really
Classic.
fun. Yeah, it was good.
I don't know if I've ever seen that from
Um,
start to finish.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I kind of hate it just because of how much you guys
Really?
freaking. It's like
All the music,
it's
the
that same
music's
level
so
of like
good, and like
Scrooge
I
and
love
Sound
the,
of Music that I hate just because that's all like that was like one of the
Really?
only options for
That's
Sunday.
funny.
nights.
Sunday movies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
The only thing
And
I would
I-
say for the first Pink Panther, yeah, it's like I think they realized that everyone's like, oh wow, like Peter Sellers is the funniest thing, and we need a
Mhm.
movie entirely devoted to the
Yeah,
detective, like the bumbling detective.
murder. You said murder.
Big murder.
Oh, have
We
we?
cut
Have we
that
done,
all
we've
the
done
time.
Pink Panther, right? Did
No,
we
I
do?
haven't. None of them.
Oh, bro. Okay, I think
Yeah,
I
we
know
should
our
do
next
those. Those are good.
marathon. Yes, even just all of them, and no
Gaeta?
mention of Steve Martin. I don't want any Steve Martin. I love Steve Martin, but not
I'm coming in.
Gaeta.
Right out the window.
And then I watched the live action Jungle Book. That was like the first and last.
That was the last good one.
Yeah, that was the last good live action before.
And I'm pretty sure it was the first one.
went downhill. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
there
I
was
think it
Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland. Technically, was like the
Uh-huh.
post-quel or prequel, sequel, whatever.
I mean, if you go back further, you could say 101 Dalmatians. That was technically live action.
yeah, see, there was movies.
Dude, that movie used to scare
existed,
me as a
yeah.
child.
Okay, which one?
Glenn
The
Close?
Close
I had
or
so-
the cartoon?
I had
No,
so
both
many
are just as
nightmares.
good.
I had
Dude,
so
Glenn
many
Close
nightmares with
nails
her.
it with the evil laughter. It's
Mhm.
by far one of the greatest cackles in movie history.
I used to have
That
nightmares
and the
of
Boo
being
Box
caught
Empire.
in that press, like in that dog skin press, bro. I was like, don't take my skin.
Skin press? Oh, is that like in the second one or is that the first one?
I don't remember.
think
I
that's
don't
the
remember which
second
one
one.
it is.
Might be the
And
second
it also
one.
like there's like a scene where you get caught in like sludge or something like that. That also
That was the
used-
second one. Yeah.
bro. That was just a cursed movie.
102 Dalmatian.
And then I
102
watched this. Well, we started the second season of Loki. It's just so cringe. Like
I can't believe you
Marvel is
still
just
watching
garbage.
Marvel.
No, I started it. Yeah,
because the first
that
season of
dropped
Loki
off.
I enjoyed. I
This-
thought
I
it was
did
good.
enjoy the
And then
this
the
is
second
DC's
season's
chance.
garbage.
DC's chance to reclaim the throne.
Are they kicking it off with Blue Beetle, Cameron?
Hey, that actually wasn't terrible.
I know I
Compared
haven't
to-
seen it. but,
Compared to
yeah.
what Marvel's been putting out, that is an A-tier film compared to what Marvel's been putting out.
Yeah, that's fair. And then I rewatched the first Pirates of the Caribbean. I hadn't seen that in a long time, and that was really fun. Rewatched Tenet What a freaking masterpiece, dude. I love that
Defend that
movie,
movie.
so much.
It's all about the temporal
Grant, have you
pincer, man.
finished?
It's yeah,
Have you
dude.
finished the 4 episodes of Invincible?
Oh, that was also on my list because I've watched I think 3. I
We're
don't
taking a
yeah.
You
break
need to watch the
until
4th one. The
yeah.
4th one is a
Okay.
top 5 episode in the entire, or top 3 episode in the entire series.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
don't
taking a
build it up
break
too
until
much.
January. Yeah, yeah. Easy,
Fake,
Cameron.
Mark, fake.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that. Been watching that. It's been really good. And then
Not quite
I
my tempo.
watched all of The Last of Us. I liked it.
It's got
but
crazy good
then-
reviews.
Oh, I do want to see The Last of
Well,
Us. Yeah.
it's really good,
I
but
heard it was good.
well, because I don't know how closely it follows the video game.
It's
'cause I
very,
haven't played
very,
the video-
very
well,
close.
Okay, because I
It's
haven't played the video
pretty
game.
true to it. Yeah.
Oh, the video
Because
game's
then-
amazing, Grant.
Having not played the video game, I hated the ending because I think it sets
Oh.
up the whole second, Last of Us Part 2 or whatever. But
You
Interesting.
also have
I
to take it with a
hated
grain of salt because Grant loves The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I thought that would fit right into your
Well,
wheelhouse.
no,
Grant.
That's
I
really up
loved,
your
like-
alley.
liked all
I
of it,
really
but the ending. Yeah.
yeah, I liked a lot of it. I love the characters. Like,
To me, I feel like every zombie
Pedro
movie has that
Pascal,
ending
so
though.
good.
28 Days Later, they all have that ending. If you watch a zombie movie, they all have that ending.
It's almost
the disappointing.
It's almost too close to the
paradise.
game where I was just like, I've already seen it. I stopped watching
Yeah.
because I'm like, this is literally the same exact like beat for
right,
beat.
right.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So if you
'Cause-
hadn't seen the game, watching the show is like
At the
really
very
exciting.
least, though, I
Yeah.
was very intrigued though because I think Pedro Pascal, I liked him in the well, I'd say the
And I
first
heard the
Mandalorian?
little, I heard the
I mean,
little girl.
that was
does a
fine,
good job,
but I
too.
liked him in the Unbearable Weight of
Yeah.
Massive Talent. He was really, really funny.
Yeah.
in that movie. He
really,
was
really
great. So
good.
I was like, it kind of turned me onto the Pedro Pascal train, but now I'm like, yeah, like Jordan said, I already know the whole story, and I'm like, it seems like it's past the time to have watched it, but then again, I'll probably get around to it. Who knows?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
After you
Um,
watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, after I watch all 9
Yeah.
seasons of Game of Thrones, I'll then start the.
You
Seriously,
can
skip
it's
the last
ridiculous
season.
saying that.
Yeah,
I
just-
know it's so
just
ridiculous saying that, but like
just 8.
that is just too daunting, guys. Like it literally is like the most daunting thing. Being like, yeah, that's too much TV. But then you're like, oh, but it's so good, and I'm like, yeah.
I've watched it twice all the way through.
I've seen
I-
Breaking Bad 3 times all the way through.
I know,
all
me
the way
too.
through. So yeah, it's there are shows that I'm like, yeah, I'll just put it on and I can't stop watching. I'm actually thinking about starting
Ty-
Better Call Saul again,
see, Ty,
actually,
you-
because they have all
Don't
the
start that.
shows.
Watch Game of Thrones. If you start watching Game of Thrones, I'll watch Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, I totally will then, because I would love to watch Breaking Bad again as well. Like
It's
I
so
actually want to.
Yeah, me too. I've forgotten so much. Like Harry, he watched it, like, and he keeps quoting it to me, and I'm like, I don't remember that part.
You don't
at all.
remember that? Yeah.
Because
You're like, I don't remember.
I wanna,
that.
like,
the,
rewatch
the
it,
only
you know?
episode of Breaking Bad I've ever seen is the series finale 3 times.
How?
Because me and Grant's old roommates loved it, and they're like, it's the best series finale of any show ever. And so I
Oh.
just watched it like 3 times, and they're like, and
That's
if you see in the context, they're
hilarious.
like, the machine gun in the car is way cooler. I'm like, it's pretty wild, regardless.
Yeah,
Right,
that is
yeah.
funny. Yeah, they're like, oh, like, but no, as far as shootout, it is awesome. But yeah, it's funny that they say that because, like, yeah, like classic Hollywood, big, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie endings. But it's like,
Yeah.
it was at least believable enough where Walter White could devise something like that, right?
Was it
So-
was it you that sent the Breaking Bad season 2 trailer fake video? Like it like starts out pretty serious. And you're like, man, they could bring this back. And then
Oh,
it's, like,
yes,
he gets
yes, I
like
did.
superpowers. And, like,
Hank
lasers
comes out
and-
of the desert because that was like a
Yeah.
commercial or is like a internet video. Yeah, Hank
Uh.
climbs out, or is it? Yeah, Hank climbs out of the sand in the desert and he's like, "Come on, go
Yeah.
me, you and me, or we're gonna go take down this empire." It's for guys. I'll have to send that video.
It's really
again. I
funny.
love that video. It's
Yeah.
great. All right,
But
Cameron.
then-
I'll tell you
so,
what.
Right, really quick.
This
last-
Christmas season, I will start I'll let you know the day I start the first episode. Okay, I worry about watching the first episode again though. I've seen the first episode of Game of Thrones season 1, episode 1.
You just have to
twice.
skip over a lot of scenes. That's all.
No, I know, but if you watch Breaking Bad, dude, because Cameron, after you watch Breaking Bad, you got to watch Better Call Saul. That's even more important. I really believe that. I honestly think that Better
No.
Call Saul.
Commitment.
wait, wait,
more
wait.
important.
Would you
Whoa, slow down.
would you recommend watching Better Call Saul after or before?
That's funny that you
after
say that,
Bad?
Grant. I would
I'm really
recommend watching
curious.
Breaking Bad first because
Yes.
I
Okay,
really
yeah.
think that like I think it's great because if you're all at all interested, just so you know, Better Call Saul is nothing like Breaking Bad, but it's a great way to just kind of immerse yourself in that universe. And then you meet a character and then just realize that the first one is even a deeper, slower character study than Breaking Bad is. Because Breaking Bad, you follow Walter's transition.
And there's a lot more exciting things happening in Breaking Bad.
Sure. And it's just, more quotable. You have Jesse, who is one of the quintessential parts of the show that also is the heart of the show that's missing, but you get it from we've talked a lot about it. This is not a podcast about but anyway, you guys should totally. I'll do that, Cameron. I'll watch if that means you're gonna watch Breaking Bad, because then you have to watch Better Call Saul.
Okay, Grant, what were you gonna say?
They're my top 2 favorite TV shows of all time, so
it's top 1 for me.
Breaking Bad,
that's right good. And then so I rewatched Hercules because I hadn't seen that in forever, and Mulan.
I assume the Disney, not the
the original animated, not the Dwayne the Rock Johnson. No. And then I've been showing Elise a lot of Jim Gaffigan, and it's been super fun because she didn't used to really like stand up at all, really, when we were first married, and now she's like been enjoying it, so it's been really fun.
Just like humor. So
Cameron, I can't hear you at all.
I've been watching movie trailer. Oh wait, sorry, Jordan, you want to start?
Oh, I need to start.
I guess.
Yes. Start watching movie trailers, guys.
Make your list. I've already made my list.
Oh, good. I have a list of 10 movies. I'm ready to go.
I started like a year ago because I was like, I want to be thinking about this.
Dude, I cried in like 2 of them. I got like teary eyed. I'm like, this. And then too bad I know what the movie's like.
Kung Fu Panda 3 or what?
Kung Fu Panda 3.
What movie did you say?
What did you say? God, Kung Fu Panda? I have no idea what you're saying.
Top 10 movie trailers of all time. Kung Fu Panda 3. Oh,
that's why I was
word.
like, that's a crazy take, but I mean,
no, I said I got teary-eyed watching some of these. I said it's too bad. I already know some of the movies are no good.
I don't know where I got Kung Fu Panda from. But
I don't either.
Me neither. I was like, what is he
I just
saying?
thought you were making fun of me. You're like, he's crying in Kung Fu Panda 3.
We'll get to trailers. We're gonna talk about it.
I know.
But so Ty, I went through yours and Cameron's top 100 list, and I just watched whatever you have in there that I haven't seen. So I finally finished Man from U.N.C.L.E. because you put it in your top 100 for some weird reason. I'll never understand.
Yeah.
Why did you put it in your top 100?
I remember Drew was obsessed with that movie.
The movie's really good.
Listen,
it's so good.
I love Guy Ritchie, but I just Guys,
Coming from the person who has Wrath of Man as his number 1 Guy Ritchie movie.
Which is the least Guy Ritchie.
Exactly. The least Guy Ritchie.
But you like Guy Ritchie or not?
I do, but I don't have any of his movies.
But you don't like his style?
I do love his style,
Gentleman.
but it's like he's like Edgar Wright. Like I love his style, but none of his movies are my top 100. Sorry.
I gotta say though, like
got like 17 zombie movies in there.
The
style in that is
it is.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
and then Ty, First Man, another movie in your top 100. Finally watched it. It was really good.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I wouldn't put it in my top 100, but I do love it.
Yeah. Okay. Just in my defense, though, there was a really cool video essay that like blew out my freaking mind. Like it was literally like, because they did a side by side about Ad Astra and First Man, and it was really cool to see the similarities. But like he would rather than
Is that
like
about the moon landing.
Yeah. It's Neil Armstrong, and Ryan Gosling plays the
Way backwards is Alien.
What? Way back is Alien?
No. Neil A backwards is Alien.
Oh.
Coincidence?
So sorry, but there was something about a man that's unable to confront his wife and kids and he's like distanced from them, and he literally like has to escape them by going out of this planet. Very interesting, but it's
Elton John wrote a song about him. Rocket Man, the lyrics are literally kind of about that. So I wonder if he ever talked to Neil Armstrong.
It's gonna be a long, long time. Okay, anyway.
And then last one I have is Holiday. I don't own that yet, so I gotta wait till it goes on sale and then I'll watch it.
Oh, yes, that's the Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn, I want to say. Catherine Hepburn, maybe?
Yeah.
Catherine Hepburn.
And Jordan watched Marriage Story.
And then I rewatched
Marriage
that.
Story?
I
No.
watched it twice.
I remember liking that movie. Is that good? Does that hold up? Because I remember liking it.
Yeah, it does hold up.
Okay. I
Noah
liked it.
Baumbach is a great writer. And then Ty, did you watch Aporia yet?
No, I saw that you
Okay.
you said you bought it. That's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that this week for sure.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
excited.
Yeah, Cameron, you should check this out. Put it on your list. Aporia. It's like time lapse. So it's another
Ooh.
like time.
Is it a small budget too?
Time
Yes.
what?
Yes,
I'm in.
that's the best part. Small budget. Yes.
Time travel? I'm in.
Yeah, I know.
Is it also similar to Coherence kind of vibe?
Whoa. Okay,
Whoa.
comparing it to
That's-
that's like on another level. Okay, so I'd
Dude,
say
did we talk about coherence on this podcast? Right.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You missed it, but
Oh, I missed it. That's right,
That's right.
dude. Maybe because I
Is that
stepped out.
is that
so I
the
came again and I
multiple
wasn't there,
houses?
right?
yeah.
The black
It wasn't the original house. for
blackout.
Ty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't compare it to that
that
because that's a whole
that.
another level. I'd compare it down with time lapse, which is just like a fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's-
The twist in time lapse is fun.
Yeah, and this
like
one,
and
Don't spoil it.
performance-
I still need to watch that.
The performances
I
were
watched
like,
Time
it was
Lapse.
good.
yeah, like this one. It's a good time. I just love these indie
Yikes!
films.
5.5 on IMDb. Oh my.
Yeah, like I said, acting's not great, but it's the concept that you're like, ooh, like
Yeah,
this is
You're
really
like,
good.
dude, this
idea.
could be picked up by a major studio and get Ryan Gosling to be the lead. You know.
Better actors. Yeah. And then I finished
Which
James.
one? Is it the 2023 version?
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah, the
Okay.
new one.
And then speaking of James Cameron, I finished his last and first film, which is Piranha 2. It's trash.
Wait, James Cameron directed Piranha. That's really funny.
Yeah, the second one.
Dude, why is it all these directors, like some of the biggest directors of all time, have like the weirdest first
I know
names? Like
Peter
David
Jackson
Fincher,
dreaded, Brain Dead or Dead Alive, and then you had
and
the
David
Lord of the
Fincher,
Rings.
Alien 3.
Yeah. What is it with them? They're like, I have to direct this piece of crap film, and then they're like, okay, then I gotta make
you have
the
to,
one
you
I
have to
really
pay your
wanna make.
dues.
Yes.
And then,
yes,
guys,
so
I watched
funny.
Good Burger 2.
It's like blackmail to hold it over.
Oh,
you.
the second one, is it out?
Yeah, it's out. So Good Burger 2.
Any good? Is it like Bill and Ted Face the Music? It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
nostalgia
it's kind of
bait
like that, but like they
Sad.
take it up a notch. Like at one point, like Ed's like shooting lasers from his eyes. I'm like, oh, is this so bad? It's good. Like I couldn't decide, but it's
fuck?
like
wait, but like in a
What?
dream sequence, right? Like,
no, it actually like happened. It was like, what is
Stop.
happening? It's just
stop.
Like,
I
wasn't-
mean, because you had Ed flying with hamburgers, which
I'm
come
flying
on,
with
like,
fast
but-
food.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a
Well, when
dream.
Ed first
Hi,
meets what's his partner's name? The other guy,
Dexter.
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 When he first meets him, he hits him. He does a triple
Yo,
backflip
fit.
and lands
Hey,
in
yo,
the
Audio
Dex.
Dex?
car.
Yeah, Audio Dex.
Audio Dex.
So,
No.
what was that, Jordan? He does
Sorry,
what?
he hit
Fit.
Ed hits him with the car and he does a triple flip and then lands and he's in the car and he's fine. So it's just like it's that kind of
Oh,
insanity.
okay, so they
So
just
it's like-
it's a Nickelodeon cartoon live action.
Yeah,
So
it's
like
a live-
tossing a baby through a basketball hoop and making.
That's true.
We're like, that makes sense.
That's true. You got a point there. I didn't think about that.
There's some wild stuff, and the physics in that movie don't really add
And
up.
they basically just retold all the jokes, but a little different. Like he's
Dumb and
like,
Dumber 2 then.
yes,
Yeah.
that's a perfect comparison.
Yeah.
It's Dumb and
It's
Dumber 2.
funny
So
on in its own right, but it's like this doesn't hold a candle to
it just
the-
makes you honestly, it just made me want
Wanna
to go
watch
back and
the new
watch the
one.
original. So and then
Shaq.
Shaq. And yeah,
Where's
same.
Grand
They
Theft- is
literally
that-
did,
are they yelling
Is that Michael
back?
Jordan?
That's Michael Jordan.
and they
I don't
did
get it.
every single joke. They just did it again, but with somebody else. It was like
Yeah.
they went to the concert. Anyways.
Right.
And then you recommended The Creator too, Ty. I do kind of wish I watched at least the beginning in the theater because there's a lot of really cool visuals. Actually,
Yeah,
the end was
oh.
pretty cool too.
Yeah. Cool
What
What is it
visuals.
on, Jordan?
I own it.
Oh.
And then Studio C.
Highly recommend it, Grant and Cameron. I just recommend watching it. You can watch it with anyone.
I heard the score was excellent.
Score's
and the
good, and the
visuals are
visual
good.
guys. I cannot stress the visuals. Like watching it, it was just eye candy.
Yeah, like I
this is
said,
great.
I wish I'd seen
It
it in
reminded
theater.
me
How
of,
did you
like,
force yourself
District
to like
9.
it because it was John David Washington? So I was like, I gotta like.
No, it's funny that you say that. I'm kind of impartial. Like I just think he needs the right direction because I
Hmm.
think he could be an action star, but I just feel like he hasn't had that role yet. You know, like I enjoyed him in Tenet. He kind of plays like a cool, mysterious. I think he's cool. I think he's reserved.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's always bombastic. Like Daniel Craig in James Bond. That's a good comparison, right? Like more reserved, but stoic. And I enjoy that kind of movie character. So anyway, he's great. But yeah, the movie visually is just unbelievable with the budget that they had. And like you said, movies that don't hold up. Yeah, movies with 3-4 times the budget don't look as good as this movie.
I don't
It's-
understand why directors don't study movies like 2001:
Yes.
Space Odyssey or Apocalypse Now. I'm like,
yeah.
these did this technique filming in the Philippines in the 70s.
I
They did this
know.
in the Philippines in the 70s with no CGI.
And
Or they're
then
like, we don't even know how to do this. It's like, well, let's build
Dude,
a set. Yeah. an
Personally, I
inhuman
think
set.
that's the biggest crutch of like, or not crutch, but like the biggest problem nowadays with like CGI is actors don't know how to like act with
React
nothing
to-
there.
yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
They're
all
like, look
they
at this
just
tennis
they
ball. Look at
fit
the tennis ball. It's a
CGI
scary
to
monster.
them.
It's gonna get you. Oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna get you.
It's
It's the
just like-
claw. It's gonna get you. Oh,
I feel like that's the biggest problem. It just doesn't feel real because
this tennis ball
They
is
don't think
Scooby
it's
Doo.
real,
So
yeah.
react
Yeah.
to this tennis ball. This is your partner in
That's
crime,
why you gotta go
Scooby
the
Doo.
animatronic
know.
route, like the baby in Twilight. That would have scared me.
and then the movie
Oh my God.
the movie I want to review next week for my choice, which I've watched. Have you guys seen Claws on Netflix? Really good.
Is that the animation
yeah.
like of the male guy?
Yeah.
It goes yeah, that one's really good.
Yeah, really good, like uplifting message. Kind of reminds me of Paddington too. Just like a good
Okay.
message. And I'm
Oh
like,
wait,
man.
you mean Klaus or Klaus?
Klaus. Yeah, Klaus.
Yeah, Klaus.
Like the Santa Claus,
Yeah.
right? But yeah. It was a 2D, 3, really interesting. It reminded me of it reminds me of the animation from Atlantis because it is 2D mixed with 3D. It was really cool how they did it. But yeah, feels like a throwback to 2D animation. Really good.
Really good. And then
Story for Santa, yeah.
and then
It was so good.
Cameron talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I watched that. I like the animation and the style. That was really good. Also,
Yeah,
another
me
kids
too.
movie that I was like, oh, they're still making good kids movies these days. I was just worried because after all the garbage Disney dishes out. So
Go
Well, it's not
Ninja, go
Disney though.
Ninja, go.
It's who was it? It was Universal and Seth Rogen, right?
yeah, Seth
Or he
Rogen. So I'm just
executive produced, yeah.
I was just happy he's making good content. So like reprehensible. And then Studio C made a movie, and I learned about it from one of the characters from Studio C. Was at the airport, and I was talking to him. I'm like, oh, are you guys doing any new projects? He's like, oh yeah, we just made a movie. And I'm like, oh really? I'm like, what's it called? And
Wait,
he's like,
who'd you talk to?
oh crap, I forget his name.
It's the one. I can't remember his name. I don't remember it. I could be bothered to remember his name. He's not one of the more
So
famous
scary.
actors. Yeah.
That's crap. What is his name?
Come on, his joke about the crayons or whatever skin color that made me laugh. That was actually really funny.
but
'Cause it was like color skin. It was like an orange colored crayon. He's like,
it's basically an hour and a half a skit. So there was a few funny jokes, but like when they were sending letters, and then it's like,
well, what's the movie about? What is it?
it's
Mormon?
about it's the story of what's the game called when you die on the trail, Oregon Trail.
They made an Oregon Trail the movie.
Yeah, but it's called Go West. So
Go West.
there's just one part that made me laugh. The rest of it was all right, but
Is it like funny? Like they have to like cannibalize each other to stay alive? Is it funny like that way? Because it's like the Donner Party. They're
Yeah.
just eating each other. That would be funny. Like they just cut to a guy just like gnawing on someone's leg, and then they're like, "Oh, you're saved. We brought provisions," and then they like eat them.
yeah, I was kind of hoping more people would die because I'm like, oh, that's, but it,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, I remember playing the
Dude,
game on
yeah.
Sundays, and that was the most fun.
Dude,
thing
you
ever.
start out, you're like Oregon Trail, and you're like, we're gonna start traveling 12 miles a day, and then like, din, din, this violin music would come on, and you're like, your ox has stepped in a hole and broken its leg.
Yeah.
Shoot the animal in the head and use it as food, or wait till the animal heals, and you're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
have
you're like saying
cholera.
goodbye to half of your company. You're like, hope you guys like the icy river.
And then you're like, yeah, you're like, do I do the ferry, or do I just cock the wagon and float? Cock the wagon and float, and then you shoot the wagon out, and then it tips over. You lose like 50 barrels of food and ammunition. You're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna die. And then
It's
it'd be
like
like,
Indians
you
are
have cholera.
attacking.
Yeah.
Last movie I wanted to mention is recommended.
Are we recording the video of this? Guys, look at
Yes, Cameron's been doing that. Yeah, I love how Ty finally just saw it for the first
Yeah,
time.
dude, you're late to the party, man.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, has this been on his screen the whole time? What is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Is that from Twilight?
the Twilight
Uh-huh.
doll. Yeah, the creepy doll.
You mean this realistic baby next to me? Yes.
I really wish they used that doll in the movie.
That would've-
Oh my gosh, that would have changed the game.
So good.
Yeah, that would have changed the game.
Oh,
I
that
would watch.
reminds me-
I would watch the whole series if that
Oh,
baby
I
was in
know.
the
Dude,
movie.
I just really quick. I just
I'm
wanted to mention
crying.
lastly that Suitable Flesh was a recommendation by Red Letter Media. It's basically another Stuart Gordon movie or Reanimator.
Reanimator.
And I
Weirdo.
love those types of weird movies, and so it had all the disgusting things I love. So it's a
Jordan needs
body
psychological
Jordan
help.
needs
body
help, yeah.
swap movie.
Well, everyone on the podcast, if you could offer your prayers for Jordan and save his soul. That'd be
Jordan, did you
great.
like Possessor or no?
Yeah.
Possessor's
but
good, Cameron.
Possessor was good.
Oh,
yeah,
you
that-
watched it?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. Cronenberg, dude. It's awesome. His
His
son,
only
right?
good
What's his
movie.
son? David Cronenberg's the old guy. What's the his only good movie?
Brandon Cronenberg.
Brandon Cronenberg. Which is why I actually kind of did want to see this. It was the Flesh one was the same guy from Possessor, right? That guy?
No, that's a whole different director. It's just it feels like one of those movies. That's
no,
a
no,
good
but isn't the
comparison.
actor though? Isn't the actor in Possessor?
No, it's got the lady from it's got the girl
Slow
from
down.
Hangover Part 1, the first movie, the lady that he marries Stu. It's the
Oh,
No, slow down. Okay, what's his name? Christopher Abbott? Is that who I'm thinking of?
I don't know who you're thinking of, Ty.
I'm thinking of the guy that looks like Pedro Pascal, but he's not Pedro Pascal. That guy. Maybe
Grant,
he's
you
not
want
in
to-
Suitable
Grant,
Flesh.
you want
He's in
to
the.
say
Is he in Euphoria? Is that the
Oh,
movie he's in?
Ty, are you saying your thing so we can
I've actually seen some movies, guys.
Oh,
I watched
did you?
a small indie film called Holiday. His name is Christopher Abbott. You know what he was from? He was the other husband in the It Comes at Night, our infamous movie podcast where me and Cameron had a cordial
Oh.
discussion. But anyway, you know that guy? He looks like Pedro Pascal, doesn't he?
A little racist.
Yeah, a little.
but
There's
a
yeah.
little.
He's an untrustworthy protagonist, Cameron.
Is he not white? I thought he was white.
He's definitely not white.
He's not white.
the kid?
His name is Abbott.
No, not the kid.
I was like, I think he's
Yeah, Christopher Abbott. I swear
He's
he
like,
looks so much
I
like
can maybe
Pedro
see the
Pascal.
similarities between Pedro Pascal.
He's an American, so I don't care.
Oh, that
I
kid's
mean,
from
I don't
Waves,
know
isn't he, Cameron?
yeah,
I like him.
he's also from Loose. If you ever watched that,
No.
Well, he was in
You ended-
Possessed, I thought.
Did you end up watching that? Was it good? Was it a psychological thriller or no?
that was like I was kind of disappointed at is like they
Mm.
kind of there was not a whole lot of
Mm.
ambiguity and they kind of snuffed out the psychological thriller aspect like 2/3 through the movie, and so like the last.
Well, he was also in First Man, so there's that, Jordan. That guy.
Yeah.
He was in It Comes at Night, First Man.
I mean, it was
There's a lot of
good.
people in
I just
First Man.
overhyped it because that frick, that's a good trailer. That trailer is probably gonna be maybe on my list.
Every time I look at Cameron's screen, I just see that stupid baby. Dude, that running joke. Just keep the baby.
All right, Ty, let's crank out your list.
Okay, guys, I saw a movie called Holiday. This had some
Is it
Australian
Hallmark?
actor. It basically felt
Christmas
that. It may
show?
as well have been, yeah. So the whole premise is this girl's really sad, and her family always asks her, "Why aren't you married yet?" And she's like, "Get out of my life. I'm happy." And she's clearly not happy. It's got Emma Roberts, who I've actually liked her. I think she was in The Hunt, and she gets killed like immediately, right? I think she has like a cameo in that movie, and she gets killed.
Oh, not the Matt
Not
Nicholson.
the Hillary Swank one where they
Yeah.
hunt rich liberals hunt like not Christians, but like conservatives. Yeah. But yeah, conservative right-wing people, yeah. But anyway, Emma Roberts and Luke Bracey, it was okay. Like it's basically like it's your standard chick flick, you know they're gonna end up together, but they start dating. It's way too long. It's an hour and 44 minutes. It should have been like an hour and 25, if an hour and 30, but like there's not enough callbacks. And the whole premise, she teams up with this guy to be her dates on important holidays like Christmas, Easter, Cinco de Mayo. See, as you understand the foil of this plot, it's like these are holidays that nobody gathers for anymore. But anyway, like they're literally like meet up for
Families
like
are gathering for Cinco de Mayo that aren't like
that are
ethnic
white,
and Hispanic. Yeah.
I mean, like maybe as an excuse to drink, but anyway, she's upset because her parents always ask her why she's single. Her sister judges her, who was married and has like 5 kids. Her mom judges her. Her grandma judges her. Her aunt, who's a big whore, judges her. Like everyone's like, you're miserable. And then she's devises a plan with this guy that she meets at the mall and is like, hey, why don't we be each other's no pressure date for these events? And there's no strings attached, or, you know, whatever. Like, we're not even going to get romantically involved, but we'll just be there as each other's dates so people stop bothering us. The whole gimmick of this movie is completely undone, though, because by the first holiday, she's explaining what she's doing. And I'm like, the very people that are pressuring her and making her feel bad about herself, she explains that she only has them as a date for these events. It doesn't make any sense. This whole movie is undone. Because it would be clever if they were
Yeah.
pretending to be a couple and no
Right.
one knew what was going on. The whole reason she wanted to bring this guy, and again, obviously they fall in love. So you're like, okay, eventually she just wants to bring him because he's handsome and they like each other. But no, it's like they keep going on dates and they're like, well, we're not even really a couple. You're just my fake holiday. So yeah, the movie's awful. When I say awful, I mean it's like it's a romantic comedy. You watch it once and you're like, okay, I laughed out loud twice. There's a really funny dance scene at the New Year's party. Definitely watch that. They reference Dirty Dancing, Cameron. Actually, it's funny. They actually reference a movie they reference La La Land, where Ryan Gosling picks up Emma Stone, which is a reference to Dirty Dancing, where Patrick Swayze picks up his date. So it's just, anyway, they mentioned La La Land. I'm like, whoa, as a cinephile, I'm like, you are referencing a movie that was referencing another movie. This is getting really meta, right? Does Dirty Dancing exist in this world? And then anyway, so yeah, it's really funny, but like a really funny fall that she like collapses and they get hurt and it's kind of funny, but kind of like, it's like Your Proposal. It's like all those movies where it's like, oh, are they not going to get together? Of course they get together, but you watch it and it's an hour and 44 minutes long and it's too long. And I've talked about this movie longer than I care to anymore. So, and then I watched an amazing, perfect movie. I watched Shanghai Noon. This movie is perfect. Jackie Chan, Owen Wilson. It is a kung fu western and it is a perfect movie. The humor's there, the action's there, the drama, the stakes are there. The buddy cop, Jackie Chan is charming and charismatic as, oh my gosh. And Owen Wilson is funny as ever. He stole my move. Dude, we need to review this movie very soon. So anyway, I watched
that movie.
Remove that. I want this movie.
Remove this man.
I want that man. This man.
I want this man removed.
Great.
Yeah,
So highly recommend Shanghai Noon. It's a perfect movie. And then I watched my best
no
friend's,
bacon and
yeah, and then I watched another romantic comedy called My Best Friend's Wedding, which is I always want to say Michelle Branch. It's not Michelle Branch. Julia Roberts. I don't know why I thought Michelle Branch. Musician,
I'm
actress.
team Julia Roberts, bro. She's a gorgeous woman.
She made a new movie
Is
on
it right?
Netflix. Did you guys watch that one?
Elise doesn't
watched
like
that
I
one.
heard that looked like a
pretty funny.
Bird Box thing, right? It looked like it's like the end of the
It
world kind of
looks
thing.
like it's an end of the world thing. Yeah, it's funny
Yeah.
because the girl's watching Friends, and then all technology, like all internet dies, and she's like, "I need to know what happens in the last episode."
That's interesting. So did you watch it, Jordan, or have you started it?
It
Or
was fun. No, I finished it.
is it just a movie or is it a show?
It's a movie.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it as a movie because I
Yeah.
thought the same thing. I was like, I don't know if I want a whole show about that because like
No,
it's good for one season, but yeah, if
Yeah.
it's a movie, I'll watch it then.
yeah, and I enjoyed it the whole time I was into it.
And that's that. Who is it again? It's the
Julia Roberts and
who's the
the guy?
yeah? Who's the guy in it? I'm trying
I
to remember. who it
forget. I don't know his name. He's
he was in Studio C, I believe. What's the movie called again? It's like the
Leave the World Behind.
Julia Roberts and is it Mahershala Ali or something like that?
Probably.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali. Mahershala
Also,
Ali.
it's also got the girl from Bodies,
Sure.
Bodies, Bodies.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it did look intriguing. So it's 218 minutes.
It was
Leave
a fun.
Behind.
I like they kept it contained. It's also got
Okay.
Kevin Bacon, and people were joking that Kevin Bacon looks just like Ethan Hawke, and I'm like,
Well,
"Oh,
and it
yeah,
has
does."
Ethan Hawke in it too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Ethan Hawke and Julia Roberts. Yeah, it does look like it's a movie that I definitely want to see. So
No, it's so funny. Tight. Okay, so this is something about
No
my wife.
spoilers.
No. This is something about my wife. She's like, hey, it's the guy from what's that TV show called? New Girl. Because it's like
yeah.
she thinks that guy looks just like this guy.
Mahershala Ali, yeah, guys, I'll give her credit.
They do
Well,
look alike. I actually looked at a picture.
look
I'm like,
alike.
okay, I'll give you that.
Well, slow down. If you say that though, you're acknowledging your racism, Jordan.
No, but if you look at him,
But if you look at them side by side,
Just like all people.
We got Grant saying that
Jeez.
I got it
Shaq,
mixed up.
Shaq is or Michael Jordan.
I know.
Shaq.
Yeah, good
Michael
for her.
Jordan?
I thought it was Michael Jordan.
Shaquille O'Neal.
no, but
Shaq
seriously,
is
if
like,
you look at them
"Look
side by
at him."
side, you got this guy, and then you got this guy. I mean, they do look
Oh,
pretty
yeah, I see a
similar.
little bit.
Same person.
Same
They
person.
both are.
Is he as big as he is?
Is he as big as-
His mom and his sister, same person.
Same person. I never understood that, but I love it.
His mom and his sister are the same person.
Hot fuzz.
Oh, it's so good, dude. Okay, so I'll definitely check out that movie. But yeah, what was the movie I was mentioning? You interrupted me, Jordan.
Sorry.
Oh, My Best Friend's Wedding. Yeah, so yeah, Julia Roberts. It's actually a really funny romantic comedy. I actually enjoyed it. Cameron Diaz is in it, and it's got the one handsome gentleman that's in like all the 90s movies. He's in like every romantic comedy of all time. It's
Mel
yeah, it's a romantic
Gibson?
comedy. It's like a classic though, because this is like from the early 2000s or
Jake
late 90s.
Gyllenhaal.
It's a 1997. Yeah, Julia
I
Roberts.
could not imagine. I don't know if he would be able to be. I mean, there's one like I just can't imagine.
In a rom com.
Yeah.
Wait, is
That'd be
Jake
funny.
Gyllenhaal isn't My Best Friend's Wedding though?
No.
Oh,
I was
sorry, I
making a
thought you
joke
were.
about him being.
You were making jokes.
Because I don't know if he's ever done that role. I don't know if he's like capable of doing that.
Well, Love and or whatever it's called. What's that one movie?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
loves and other drugs or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
what
was
was
about as
that?
close to it as you'll get.
Yeah, that or what was
Okay,
it?
his name is Dermot
Zodiac?
Mulrooney, and you guys have probably heard that name before. I wish I could show you his photo, but yeah, Dermot Mulrooney. He plays like the classically rugged, handsome. He kind of reminds me of like a '90s John Hamm kind of guy.
Hmm.
I don't know if he was in Friends.
Without the
He
gun.
looks like he belongs in Friends, but yeah. Anyway, it's a clever movie because like Julia Roberts has a best friend and he's finally getting married, and obviously it's just like when Harry Met Sally. Men and girls can't be friends. They're just non-platonic. It doesn't work. It never works. Anyway, so she does have feelings for him, but then she goes and tries to ruin the wedding for him and his fiance, who's Cameron Diaz, and it's actually really funny. It's really clever and laugh out loud funny. So definitely recommend it. It is PJ Hogan is the director. It was written by Ron Bass. But anyway, check out that movie, My Best Friend's Wedding. It's a really funny romantic comedy because it's one I haven't seen. Like the Runaway Bride type, it's all those movies that your wives would all like. Promise you that. Except you, Cameron. I mean, like, everyone that's
Ouch.
married. Your wives would
No,
all
but
like,
Cameron would like him. He just watches a ton of chick flicks.
yeah, Runaway. My Best Friend's Wedding is
strong word. I like rom-coms.
okay. Yeah, it's a romantic comedy, but again, it's by the books. Like it's pretty predictable. Actually, I will give this one credit because I was actually worried they were going to end it a certain way, and they didn't. And I was like, good, because they did it the right way. So that's why I recommend it. It's good. Because I remember thinking like, oh no, if they do it, because I was worried. I was like, they're going to do the one thing I think they're going to do. They better not. So highly recommend My Best Friend's Wedding. It's a good romantic comedy. If you haven't seen it, it's a great watch. Very funny. So that was it for me, other than like, yeah, the trailers. I just gotta tease I know the show real quick. I won't let you go, but I've been watching these trailers, man. I won't spoil any of it, but man, I've been teary-eyed. I have gotten goosebumps. I just watch it to hype me up. It's very nostalgic.
The Predators trailer.
We'll get to talk about trailers. That's just a teaser. Top 10 favorite trailers. It'll be on episode
Start looking
300.
through your favorite trailers.
Yeah,
we can end it
All
here.
right.
Folks, this has been Futro Hidden Movie Gems signing out. Turbo Man.
Put that cookie down now. It's a sick world we live in. Sick.